Back in our game time tour, this time we're going to be joined by the head track coach here at ETSU. That's George Watts. This is brought to you by Fanatics 101. And, Coach, you're actually a little different than most because you have true 3 seasons. You got the fall, you have the winter, you have the spring. Let's start with the fall with both cross-country teams qualifying for the NCAA regionals.
Yeah, we had a pretty good season. One of the big highlights was hosting the Southern Conference Championship. I think we did a really great job of putting on an event that brought in a lot of people, a lot of alum. We had great support from the golf course people and the local people in the city, politicians and whatnot. So we had a great turnout, a beautiful day. We ran pretty well at the conference meet, and then we went on to the regionals and had a pretty good showing. Ben Varghese ended up qualifying for the NCAA championships for the 2nd year in a row. So overall, it's a pretty successful cross-country season. And really what it's going to do for us is allow us to host another home meet next fall. So that's something we're really looking forward to, hopefully this coming September, to get back out there and host a meet and then hopefully be improved over last year. We've actually got a lot of new women coming in on the women's side. The men, we still have a lot of guys returning, so we don't have nearly as many people coming in, new guys, but I look forward to having a great cross-country season, improve on last year.
I was going to say, your sport, when you transition into the winter, a lot of people weren't, men's basketball was able to at least compete in the conference championship. You guys were at least able to get the conference championships in. And I think a lot of people still – confused because some of your athletes will run in all 3, right?
Right, that's correct. Yeah,
we got runners. So how difficult is it for those long distance runners to transition from obviously running? You mentioned the golf course, outdoor running to sort of running on smaller tracks indoor.
Well, I don't think it's a huge transition. They've done it. They did it throughout high school, and so it's a pretty normal transition. We still do some of that kind of training during the winter. But we get on the track. Obviously, we have a great opportunity when we have the dome to utilize pretty much all indoor seasons. So getting on a track that's our own, especially when we host meets there as well, it makes the transition a whole lot easier. And obviously, when it gets a little colder, being able to train indoors is pretty important. So our entire track and field team has that opportunity, and really in the fall as well with the rest of our track and field team when they're training. We have the dome, the use of the dome quite a bit. So that part of it is not a big deal, really, for us.
On the women's side, a 2nd place finish for the indoor championships. Obviously proud of what they were able to do.
Yeah, we were really excited about the performances because we had some really great individual performances. We went 1, 2, 3 in the 60 and actually had a 4th finisher in the 60. So the sprints were really strong for us. The jumps, the long and triple jump, we won both of those events with some big personal bests, and it was exciting. It was truly exciting to watch those kids compete, and the team chemistry was unbelievable. And so we were really looking forward to what we could do outdoor and have a chance to be able to qualify some people to the NCAA championships. Of course, that didn't happen, but we were very, very young. We had very few seniors on the team, and actually very few juniors. So our bulk of our team is freshmen and sophomores. So I'm pretty excited about what the women can do going forward here.
Let's talk about you mentioned no NCAAs, obviously, while we're doing this the way we are over video chat. Obviously, safety of everybody comes first, but just talk about when you had to sort of break it to your student athletes, coaches, everything about, hey, unfortunately, we've got to shut it down. This is going to be the end of their season, and there's a lot of unknowns. And then from there, how you went from maybe being a coach to being not a coach, more of a father figure, to try to help out. How can you take care of your student athletes and get them where they need to go?
Yeah, well, actually, I think we're always all coaches are father figures or whatnot throughout the year. But it was pretty stressful because from one day to the next things were changing, and then we were the first meet of our outdoor season was coming up when we were basically told, hey, we got to shut it down. So there was a lot of anticipation going into that first outdoor meet rather. And then not being able to even get a meet under our belt was pretty tough. And so going forward, the kids are going, what do we do about training? We still want to train. We got, our conference meet isn't until the beginning of May. So is there a chance we still have a chance to compete in that meet? And how do we train and how do we do it on our own? And trying to make those adjustments. And then probably most importantly, is, you know, making sure that we're staying on top of our academics, because you know, you lose out on study hall, you lose out on your tutoring and that kind of stuff. So it's those are the bigger concerns for me as a head coach, how we're doing academically, you know, as it relates to getting to next year and everyone being eligible, which we have a very strong academic you know, team, but you still have concerns about that and staying motivated, really.
Let's talk about hopefully this thing ends sooner and later, and you get a chance to get your kids back in the fall, back on campus, training, life is normal. Do you think it'll be a sort of an easy transition once you get everybody back together? You think everybody's sort of chomping at the bits to just have normalcy?
Perfect way of putting it, chomping at the bit. I mean, I think kids are going to be excited. You know, they're just going to get on campus and ready to explode and train and get ready for something that they kind of missed out on. But, you know, we've got to turn a negative into a positive. So we got to find a way to look forward to the future. And I think once we get them back on campus, they're going to be excited, and they're going to want to do some great things. So, you know, but it's always going to be a day-to-day operation. You can't get too far ahead, but you got to make something out of every day, even right now. And so whatever they can do on their own to stay fit, hopefully they're doing that. And then when they get back to school here in August, you know, hopefully some really good things will happen for everyone.
Well, Coach, we appreciate the time. I hope you get a chance to stay safe yourself, and hopefully we'll get a chance to see each other again in the Dome coming up this fall.
All right. Appreciate it, Jay. Thank you.
All right, that's our Game Time Tour with our track and field coach, George Watts, brought to you by Fanatics 101.